All right.
What's going on? What's going on?
Hey, it's your boy Sean.
It's your boy Troy.
Hey, and we back.
Tapped in.
Tapped in.
Yes, sir. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back. We took 1 week off. Had to do some I don't know what you call it.
Explorations.
Explorations. Yeah, explorations. Yeah. And so we back. And as always, like, comment, share. We appreciate all of the feedback that we getting. Not liking, commenting, sharing, but y'all sharing with us personally that you like the content that we putting out. So, that's all we need to put a little bit of energy in the backpack to keep us going. To know that we helping people out there, and just some really good conversation outside of the podcast. That's encouraging for us to make us keep on going forward.
Man. That's it. So we appreciate y'all. Talk to us, man. And don't be ashamed, man, to type it, man. We want to hear what you guys are thinking. We want to hear from your perspective. We're still learning. There's a lot of things that we need to learn, and we like to hear what you guys got, to say.
Yeah, for sure. So, man, we always open up. Right now, we actually got 2 seasons going on. We got football. We're in the nitty gritty of football, but we got basketball stuff going on. So, how you liking? How you liking where y'all at right now, man? How you look,
man? Listen, man. As far as we winning, winning. I like that. I like that. We 7-2. We winning. We hit a little small gauntlet. I think if we can come out this,
okay.
Well, we will come out of it. We looking pretty decent, man. We still got some things we need to tighten up before we get in that last segment of the season. Yeah, man, because my boy AJ ain't getting his touches, man.
You know what, man? It was interesting. So the boy was Ocho, who got the Speakeasy podcast, and he was talking. He was saying, he's asking the one guy. He was like, "Look, you stay in, I think it was Texas." He was like, that's you can. It's a carry state.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, yeah. He said so. He said, I liken the Eagles to like you living in the carry state, So if you live in the carry state, people are going to approach you a little bit differently because they don't know if you got something on you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just the way that they, if an altercation comes up, it might not escalate as high or as quickly because they don't know. And if it's getting a little out of hand, all you gotta do is like, lift up the shirt. Yeah. It's like, okay, let's calm down a little bit, because I'm feeling a little threatened. And he was saying, just because you have it, don't mean that you're gonna use it or that you want to use it. And he was saying that that's kind of the way the Eagles are playing. They got it. They got that tool on them.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't have to use it all the time.
It's a great analogy. It
don't make AJ Brown feel any better, but like in the scale of things, like sometimes the main thing got to be the main thing. Like I get that you want the numbers and you want the stats, but it's a lot of guys play this game all their life to be able to win a championship, Super Bowl. And honestly, the way that y'all playing, y'all got a good opportunity to go back to back.
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes that requires a sacrifice.
Yeah, but let's go back to carrying that weapon, man. That weapon, man, you got to fire that thing sometimes, man, to know when it's in the heat of the battle that thing's still going to go off, man.
Right.
Game after game, you got 2 touches, man. I think you have to draw off some plays just to get them engaged, man, because you don't want to wait because sometimes you'll watch him. He'll go through the whole game. Okay, it's almost like watching Kobe and his teammates.
Mm-hmm.
If Kobe could get his teammates involved early, the team is balling.
Right.
If he come out there and he's shooting, and when he was doing this thing,
right,
after a while, third quarter, they just watching because they done kind of checked out. Right. And that's how it is with AJ, man. All he's saying is he want to contribute. He don't have to be had the highlights. I think I understand him, man. I almost agree with him, man, because like, you brought me here to do a job.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do my job.
Man.
Right.
Right. I want to get the touches. I get it. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it, but man, it seemed like it's not trying to be negative, man, but it seemed like it's you always get that from the wide receiver, man.
Well, they do get that. Their contract does depend on them
on the
having
numbers.
so many catches too.
Right.
Because you're blocking their money too.
Right.
In a sense.
And so that part of it, I think that's the real issue. I really think that I think if it was really about just the winning, I think he might be okay. But when it comes down to, okay, I'm going to want to renegotiate my contract here coming soon, and my number's not going to look like top tier receiver numbers. I mean, I even saw some reports where it's like, okay, well, is this year, are they playing him out of Hall of Fame spot? I mean, I think that's a bit much. You know what I mean? 1 year when you see the talent, you see they getting the wins, and this year, I'm not saying that he has to be the one to sacrifice, but in the scheme of things, like he's the one that's sacrificing the most right now.
Yes.
And I think, as a GM, I think you got to take that in consideration. When you got a guy who's a premier receiver on a premier team who's playing for a Super Bowl, that might happen. But you could argue the other side of the coin and say, okay, well, when Randy Moss was with the Patriots, they're still airing that thing out.
Yeah.
So, for him, he might be saying, okay, well, we ain't airing it out because maybe my quarterback can't get it to me. Right. And then that causes it, and you winning.
Right.
You know what I mean? You winning, and then you throwing this out there, and you expecting to still get the touches that you want.
I think he just dropped little subliminals. I don't think he's been like too overt in what he's saying, like to kind of cause division. I think we as the public put more into it than what he's saying sometimes. And then, of course, the media is gonna press him with it. He'll say a comment, kind of leave it alone.
Right.
So I mean, I think it's all gonna gel together still before it's over, and we're gonna see him shine.
I think the way he done it has been very strategic. I mean, I can't complain about what he's saying. I can't say I disagree with what he's saying.
Yeah.
It's a guy who, I mean, you work all season to be able to put up numbers, be able to perform. And it's like, man, like, look, okay, I get that we try and win games. I get that maybe we don't have to air it out as much, but come on, man. I work just as hard as everybody else, man. Let me touch that thing.
What they say, men lie.
Oh, that's a pause, man. Come on. Good God.
A major pause.
All right. Yeah. That's a bit much, man. That was a bit much. I mean, we took a week off, but we can't be doing that.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna let you go with, but you paused your own self.
Yeah, nah, man. That sounds crazy. That was crazy.
Well, yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting, man. Interesting to see what y'all gonna do, man. Of course, the Ravens, man. We always gotta bring them up, man. They might.
I mean, for any year for us to start slow and to have the first part of the season that we had, this was the year. Yeah. I mean, our division, everybody's struggling.
Everybody's lacking.
Everybody lacking. So if it was a year to do it, this was the year.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
I just say we just continue to work to try to get healthy. And we just need to win the next game.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make no predictions at this point in time. I'm just saying we just need to win the next game that's in front of us. I'm not sure. Is it Bengals?
Well, yeah. Either way, you got to win the next one.
Either which way, we got to win the next game. So we just got to keep grinding.
Yeah.
It is what it is, man.
Well, we'll stay tuned in. But look, man, switching lanes, man. I know you just now. I know you got something very exciting, man. To share, man. You fresh back on U.S. soil, man. You recently took a trip, man.
Man.
Visited the motherland.
Yeah, man. Went to the motherland.
Man, talk to me about it, man. How was it?
Man, it's crazy. Man, it's a lot of things. One is if I had taken this trip, I say 20 years ago, I might not even be staying in the U.S.
Wow. So where did you go? Tell us where you went.
I went to Rwanda first, and then went to Uganda. Both of them, it was missions trip, so we did a lot of work in the communities. Was able to see, experience the city, but we went out in the country, like the bush. Yeah, like you can't get no more bush than this.
Wow.
People, I shared on my, because I wanted people to be able to see some of the experience. So on my Facebook page, I shared visiting. It was a village right outside of a school that we had done a clinic at, and I had asked the guy that was driving this. I was like, "You know anybody down this road?" And he was like, "Nah, I don't." And it just so happened, like a minute later, it was a young lady. She was sitting at the edge of the road. They made eye contact. She gestured something to him. He put the window down, and they just had conversation. And he asked, he was like, "Look, my friend's here. They're visiting from America. They want to know if they want to see inside of your house." Man, you would have thought she was showing us the mansion.
She got excited, huh?
Got excited, wow. Man. Yeah, come on, man. They whipped out the chairs for us, wanted us to sit down and just commune with them, and showed us the house, showed us where they cooked at. Man, it just so welcoming to have so little and just be so welcoming to us.
Wow.
Foreigners, they can look at us and tell that we Americans, but the love was there. That's and awesome. So for me, people who see me, who know that I went, it's just hard to put into words. It's hard to put into words. One, I feel like I went to probably the most beautiful country in the world, in Rwanda. They call it a land of 1,000 hills, where anything you plant in the ground grows. It doesn't frost there.
Wow.
Most of the houses don't have heat or air conditioning, because just the temperature in that region kind of regulates itself. It gets hot, but it's a dry hot. So it's not like it's humid and you sticky and it's hot. You need a hat. Thanks to you, I had my bucket hat with me. So I had that, but that was just enough to take that little bit of bite off of the heat. But just to see, they grew anything from rice to corn to mangoes to avocados to papayas to passion fruit. Like everything there was fresh. Watermelons, cantaloupe,
and
pineapples.
When you had those fruit, man.
It tastes like fruit, man. Best pine, man. The one fruit that stood out the most to me was one night we had pineapples, and the guy told me, with all of the fruit, he was like, you can taste the difference if it ripens on the actual tree. Like so like with the bananas, when you take the bananas off the tree and they're green, it forces them to ripe. But if you leave them on the tree and you get them when they start to turn yellow, and they taste totally different. Well, this pineapple that we had, that thing right on this. Man, like I'm talking, man. Those Gusher candies. You bite into it and it explodes. That's crazy.
You cut it close, man.
But you know what I'm saying. But man, it was just the best pineapples that I ever had. And that's with every meal. So that's the one thing that was different. Here you think about you eat a meal and you eat something sweet. It's usually a pastry, a cake, or a cookie or something like that. What they give you for after dinner snacks is fresh fruit.
Yeah.
So and it could be an avocado. It could be like the thing that was consistent was watermelon, pineapples, cantaloupe. That was pretty consistent, like with every meal. Nice. The other thing that was consistent is like every meal had rice and some kind of potatoes.
Right, man. You ain't cook up no fufu there for you, man. You ain't get the.
So yeah, we actually did what. So like that's the stuff that you did.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah. So we went to one place where they did have that. and it was made out of, they call it maize, but it was like
The
corn.
plant. Okay.
It was
Okay.
corn,
Mhm.
but they make it into patties, and then you just, like you dip it into whatever. Most of the times when they give you that, it's a
Fish.
sauce. Yeah, fish with
soup.
salt. Yeah,
Mhm.
with soup. I mean, that was good. I would have liked to have some more of that. One thing that you had mentioned to me was jollof rice. Well, in those two countries, they don't really cook jollof rice, so it's just regular rice.
Okay.
So that part of it, I missed out on, but just as far as the freshness, I mean, you could tell that the meat that they cooked was like fresh meat. So like chicken might have got killed that morning.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it gives you a certain appreciation for what they do, man. The one thing I spent a lot of time just observing the people, observing the scenery. And I was talking to, I was actually a pastor, and I can't remember what I asked him, but he verbalized what I saw so perfectly. It's like life is hard, but simple and hard. And what it means is they might live in a hut, but when they get up in the morning, they just worried about that day. Right? So anything that they want to eat for breakfast, as far as fresh fruit, they can go pick it. Right?
Yeah.
Papaya, mango, a watermelon, cantaloupe, pineapple, bananas.
Yeah.
So it's there. They could just go get it. So really, another thing that stood out was that most people didn't have grass in the yard because they had crops growing in the yards. Because you plant it grow, right? So they would get up in the morning, whatever work they was trying to do might have been able to get that meat that go along with the potatoes and the rice and the vegetable that they was cooking, and then they had the fruit already on hand. So that's what they was getting up to work for. And hardly anybody in these villages had cars. Some villages had electric, some didn't. You might ride by, they might have a little solar, like the little solar, like what we put on a shed.
Yeah.
When you pull up and it turn on and you get light, they might have one of those on the outside of the hut. That was their light source. But everything that they did, from making beds, I never saw a power tool. It was hand tools. From what they used to farm the crops, to cut the rice, to everything was it was hard labor.
Yeah.
But it was the day's work. And after the day's work was done, they go home, they cook food, multiple families around, they sitting outside talking, kids is playing.
And they just take care of themselves in the village. What they do, man. And biblically speaking, man, the Bible said, takes no thought for tomorrow, man. He said, if I could clothe the birds in the air and all that, how much more am I going to take care of you? And that's what they think. They just wake up in the morning and say, you know what, today
I'm taking care of the day.
Taking care of the day, and let tomorrow worry about itself, man. And it repeats itself.
It is, man. And it's crazy because the sense of unplugging, not being somewhat a little bit intentional, but when you're around and you're experiencing something new in general, you kind of want to be immersed in that environment. But when you see how little they have and how happy they are and how much we have and how much we chasing the joy that they have just on a normal day basis, it make you want to take a step back and be like, okay, what am I really doing? Why do I feel that the stress and the pressure of day-to-day life back at home when these people have not even a quarter, not even a tenth of what I have access to, and they happy? If what I seen and probably what you saw while you were in Africa, if it could be sold, it would be priceless.
It would be priceless, man.
But you can't buy it.
So this is I'm gonna put it in perspective, because I was, you know, my wife, she always say, people remember how you make them feel. They don't remember what you give them or what you say and all that. They remember how you make them feel. And I can say just the whole experience, just Africa itself and the people. I can't name names of the people, but just being there. So when you come back, when you showing your pictures, and you'll 6 months from now, you'll tell me this. It's not one time that I can hear them speaking their native tongue or see the pictures where it don't take me right back. I mean, like y'all was only there for that small period of time, but I feel like I belong there. It takes me back every time I see a picture or hear him talking like that. I'm like, man, it's unreal. Like
it is unreal, man.
Yeah.
The connection, man, a sense of belonging. Like I said, they know that we Americans, but they see why we're there. They welcome us, and it really do feel like I came home.
Yeah, you came home, man. That's what it felt like.
That's what it felt like. That's what it felt like.
It sounds cliche too, because a lot of people say that. Even as a kid, when I always wanted to get there, I say, "Oh man, when you get there, you feel." It's true.
It is, man, and it's crazy because we got glimpses of it, man. You know, I think about, man. You know what movie kept coming back to me?
What's that?
When I was there, Belly.
Yeah,
the end of Belly. When he was like, "Yo, we setting up shop. We going to Africa. And it's like, if in that time frame, if that age group of people really did have that mindset, man, America would be a different
we'd
place.
be integrated already. We would have dual citizenship. But it's a reason why it was kept away from us so long. Now that we have the information, we have the means to actually travel and get there.
Right.
We see it for ourselves. But like you said, if we had done that 30, 40 years ago,
man, life would literally be different, because we would have the capitalistic views of America. We would have the welcomeness, and we would see opportunities. I mean, you can see the influence of American hip hop culture.
Oh yeah,
there.
Yeah,
right. You can see its influences. I'm talking about to the extreme bushes. You still see our influence there. So you can't tell me 30 years ago we started traveling back and forth from the United States to different countries in Africa, that one, the influence there would be larger. Two, we would have tapped into the resources and things that are there, and been able to figure out a way to kind of bridge that gap.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And figured out how to work together. I think that would have probably brought us together and made us work better together more than anything, because we don't have anything to prove to one another. We just trying to help each other solve a problem.
That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
The other thing, man, is it's crazy because it seems like that the disconnect seems intentional.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Their access to information, to goods and products and services, it seems intentional.
Well, you just talked about their ingenuity, man, like making their own tools and things, how they're able to self-sustain off the land. Now, give them the same opportunity, the same information. That almost answered the question of why it's intentionally kept from them. Because I mean, anytime, I think we talked about this before. You watch, people come over here from some of the foreign countries that grew up in those situations. It's almost like they can work circles around the people that's already here, because we a lot of us feel privileged, or we feel entitled, and we want to just do the job and get paid. Man, just think, if you got up before sun up, you had to walk miles and miles and tote water on your head and do everything manual labor. You come over
exactly
here,
what they got to do.
All of this stuff, man, is
nothing.
It's nothing to them, man.
It's nothing, man. You think just taking a shower, Man, my shower there was different. Man, hot water heater tank about this big. You got enough to get wet, soap up. I'm talking about you can get wet. You got soap up, turn the water off, wash up. You got enough hot water to rinse off.
Yeah.
And then you ain't in there daydreaming and thinking about
singing your whole Jodeci album.
Nah, you in and out of that joker, man.
Yeah.
In a couple of days, I had to take cold showers.
Woo.
So, but like, you know, what I mean, just a normal, and that there was a luxury because some of those people don't even have running water. Like you said, they got to go to the well, pump the well, fill it up with jugs. Fill up jugs of water, tote that however they need to. They might be toting one on their head and bringing two in their hands.
Mm-hmm.
In order to get warm water, they got to warm it up. They don't have stoves, so they warming it up with a wood fire.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like just so many things that we take for granted. And it's amazing really to see that people actually in 2025 are living like that.
Yeah. And then the two extremes. I mean, because we talking about that aspect, but for anybody who haven't been or really haven't seen the country, it's a beautiful country, and it is, you know, they getting money there too. they getting money there, but it's just two extremes. It's either you got it or you don't.
Right.
You know how here we had the luxury of like the middle class and all. Nah, it's not even really like that. In most other places that you know, from your experience and from what I've seen, it's like you either in the bush, cut off,
right,
or you can, you know, get to it. Right. So
yeah, for sure. But I would say, I thought I was excited about it. It exceeded my expectations. Anybody who's ever thought about going, you should go. You should be able to put your bare feet on that African soil.
No doubt.
Be able to experience the people. But I would also say when you go, try to make the most of the trip. A lot of times when you go, you're not going to be able to fly directly into a country.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I would say strategically plan at wherever you land over at. You know, add a couple of days there. Because I mean, you fly in, I think you said Ghana was what, 14 hours?
Yeah, 14.
14.
Yeah, Ethiopia take you out another 5, so you're 19 out. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, if you got to go that far and fly that far, you might as well at least see 2 places while you're there.
No
you
doubt.
know, it's no need to lay over in a place has its own culture and things that you can experience. And then to get to the destination where you want to, and then you got to fly back to that place again. You might well experience that place as well. So that's the one tip I would give you if you're thinking about traveling to the continent. And you know, believe me, you won't regret it. And and I would say we're between Rwanda, Uganda, and the DRC. Garden of Eden has got to be somewhere in that area.
Yeah, it has to be.
It's got to be
just because of the natural springs, the
natural springs, man. The beauty, the ability to be able to grow whatever. The climate, you can live there. Like it got to be so. It's got to be.
That's dope, man. That's dope. And we definitely. So that means, needless to say, definitely going back.
Yeah, man.
Definitely, me too. Yeah, definitely going
back. For sure. So, man, having a lot of time to think, you know, in a relationship, a lot of things can happen. Some things you might be regretful of, but like for you, what does an authentic in a healthy relationship, what does an authentic apology look like?
An authentic apology. I think the authentic apology comes with some action behind it. I don't think it's just words. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's funny because a lot of times I'm gonna say a healthy relationship, an apology comes in the form of food. I mean, you know, things get a little naggy, get a little rough. We ain't saying eye to eye. Next thing you know, you want something to eat?
Right.
Is it an apology? Yeah, but it's not an authentic apology. Authentic apology to me comes with a conversation, comes with a little bit of accountability, and also I think authentic apology comes with a fix. A fix, you know what I mean? Whatever the issue was, okay, maybe I have a bad habit of cutting people off sometimes to talk, and it's not from a place where I'm not really listening or try to anticipate what they're saying. It's just
you try to get your thought out before you forget it.
Not try to get my thought out. I used to I don't know if I told you this, but I used to stutter.
Okay.
So when I was young, so when I get stuttering, and sometimes when you stutter, you try to help the person out.
Right,
so if they get the eye, you try to hurry up and throw the words out because you don't want them sitting there stuck for a long time.
Right.
And sometimes that's how my mind go. Like if I see somebody talking and they kind of like get stuck, because some people stop and they think, and I might cut you off. And so let's say if that causes an argument, if you talking and I'm trying to read your thoughts and I'm saying, and I say, you're not even listening. You try to tell me what I'm thinking. Okay, boom. So authentic apology is me going back and saying, you know what? I'm sorry, I should have listened. I wasn't, you know what I mean? I jump in the gun. I didn't anticipate. I'm going to learn, I'm going to try to listen more. And then next time we have a conversation, actually displaying that I'm willing to sit back and just be intentional and listening. I think you got to see a fix behind it because, when you little kids, I thought when we were thinking about the apology thing, in school, you get the hit tag, passing legs back and forth. Teachers say, go over there and say, I'm sorry. Half them apologies wasn't authentic. I wasn't never sorry for popping you in your head. I did it on purpose.
Right. I'm just doing this so I can get the recess.
Yeah, so it has to be a fix behind it, man. And then, like I said, and some accountability with it too.
Right. So just playing God's advocate, does it need, like for you, does it need to be, can it be a gradual change or does it need to be something that happens an about face? Because some things, so just in that instance that you were saying, it might take you a while to get to the point where, let's just say it is somebody who might even be, have a speech impediment, right? It might take you a while to not try to help them out, right? But the spirit in which you had a conversation with them, you always have that in your mind, like I'm gonna try to uphold what I apologized about.
Yeah.
And I guess it might be levels to it. Some things that might be, hey, it should be an about face, and I don't expect this to happen again. And then some things that might be a little bit of grace where I can see this person is actively trying to work on this pattern.
Yeah, and I would give grace in that situation because at the end of the day, people are who they are, their personality traits, you know what I mean? And sometimes I think we can get on the defensive and not just give somebody grace and say, that's just that personality. It's not coming from a bad place, but hey, that's just how, how they are, even though I don't like it. And I'm going to try to fix it because I don't want you to always feel a certain way. But at the same time, I think you should be able to give your partner some grace too and say, hey, that I know that don't mean nothing by it. Just, yeah, it shouldn't always get under your skin.
Right.
Yeah. But now some things, if it's like, I mean, we talked about this. You got negotiables and non-negotiables.
Right.
And then when if you cross the line and it's one of those non-negotiables where, you're just not going to play in my face like that. Yeah, that's about face change. You got to change that immediately because I'm not going to, because I think the more and more you let
that happen,
the more you get numb to it, or it's saying,
or the more resentment that you get.
Yeah, the more resentment.
Yeah, which could turn into a whole nother issue.
Now we on camera. I gotta say, our apologies, men apologies, have to be a lot more. I'm gonna say, I don't know the right word, but we have to apologize a lot more for the same thing. Like the first one is not always accepted. Oh, babe, I'm sorry because you want some. Like, we gotta really apologize.
Right.
Women coming, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say it. And that's it. You ain't getting nothing else. Listen, I'm sorry. Let's move on. If you get that.
But I mean, heavy as the head that wears the crown, right?
Yeah.
So with I think the role that we the role that we have in our relationships, sometimes that's how it is. Sometimes it's, the apology doesn't come, or the acceptance of the apology doesn't come with fanfare and, oh, I'm glad you finally got it. And all it's like, nah, that's what I expect from you.
Right.
Like, honestly, man, it's like, okay, that's what I expect. I expect for you to be a man. I expect for you to stand up. I expect for you to stand up and admit what you did wrong. I expect for you to make a correction on it. And am I supposed to give you a round of applause for that, for being a man? Like for real, that's how it is. That's how it be sometimes.
Yeah. And it is being a man, taking accountability. And sometimes you have to apologize if it's a compromise. And sometimes if it can't sway either way, sometimes you have to take it on the chin and say, you know what? I'm sorry. Now, I was reading something the other day. They were saying a lot of people in that situation say, oh, I'm sorry you feel this way. Or I'm sorry. That's not an authentic apology, because that's still deflected it onto somebody else. You know what I mean?
But is it? Because if you okay, so if you say that, I'm sorry it made you feel that way. And you're saying that from a place where, like, I really didn't, the way that you received it is not the way that I meant to say it. And so I think that is an apology, because, like, I'm sorry that you took it that way. So I'm sorry that the way that it came out, the way that you perceived it, made you upset or made you feel like I was saying something differently than what I was. I really wasn't. But because it made you feel that way, I'm sorry. Like, I don't think that's a haphazard apology, because, one, I know the intention of what I said it. But two, I also realized that the intent of whatever I said, or maybe the delivery and how it came out, did not meet you at the same place that my intentions were.
Right.
So it's like I'm not falsely apologizing to you. I really am apologizing to you. And I may even try to find a different way to say what I was going to say and explain it away. But I think that's warrant of an apology, because I didn't mean to hurt. In most cases, it's a scenario where you've hurt your spouse's feelings, or you've made them feel a way that you didn't intentionally want them to feel. Maybe you're just trying to get a point across, and it's like, well, so what are you trying to say about me? It's like, well, it don't have nothing to do with you. This is just the way that I feel, and sometimes that can be taken as it can make the other person defensive. Right. And I think that can be valid.
So I got one more question about that. So what happens in a situation where feelings are hurt from a statement or a comment or a reaction, but you're not sorry? What happens when you truly are not sorry? Like, sometimes certain things have to be said, and I know it's a certain spirit that it should be said in, but sometimes it's not always said in the right spirit. But what you saying, you meant, and you wanted to get it out.
So what you want, the politically correct answer?
Nah, I want the real answer, man. Like, yo, you're not sorry. You're not sorry. Stand on it, right?
So the answer to that question is, it depends on if you the husband or the wife.
No, I'm talking about from a man's standpoint, a man's standpoint. I mean,
so I'm just gonna say, if you choose to stand on business, that's on you. If you choose to stand on business, you gotta be prepared for the consequences sometimes.
Yeah.
If you're okay with the consequences of standing on business, stand on it. But after a certain point in time, if you realize,
start moonwalking, you gotta go back. You gotta moonwalk back.
So sometimes it might be like, you know what? I'm gonna take this one.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take this one. Yeah. And ain't nothing. It's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that keep the peace. And you're not gonna win anyway. So I mean, you might well just apologize.
Okay.
And keep it moving.
Yeah. Because once it's out there, it's already out there anyway. The seed's been planted. Yeah, you can go apologize because they still got something to think about. Yeah. Because sometimes your spouse might say, "Oh, you know what," and make a comment and then back up. Say, "Never mind." But they already know it's out there now. Yeah. You already planted the seed in my mind. Now I got to sit and ponder on this thing because you already planted that seed.
And see, the other thing, I mean, we've been in this thing for a long time. I mean, just don't think because, I don't want you fellas out there to get this thing twisted. Even if business ain't worth standing on and you apologize, that business going to come up again.
Oh, yeah.
You'll hear about that business again.
Yeah. You'll hear about it again.
It don't die. It don't go away. It could be a year. It could be 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
It could be 10 years later, man.
Oh, yeah.
Business is still going to come up.
Still going to come up. So,
yeah.
What we got next, man?
So, I mean, we're talking about business, but with spouses, and I can't say with spouses because I mean we both married, so with your wife, is they always want to make sure that we good. They want to make sure that we have everything that we need to be able to go out in the world to do the things that we need to do on a daily basis. But with that, comes that kind of motherly nurturing thing where they want to know, hey, I've tried to give you the platform, the support to be able to do all the things that you want to do and accomplish in this world. But there are some days where you might have a bad day.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you, and this is a conversation that you and I are having, but for somebody who is watching this conversation, who's young in a relationship, and your wife is asking you how your day was, and you might not have really had a good day at all.
Mm-hmm.
How do you approach that conversation? Do you just say, hey, everything is good? Do you unload and say what really happened? Is there like a mixture of the two? Because it could lead to, if you had a bad day, she might have had a great day. You unload, and now y'all both got bad days.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So for you, how do you approach that?
Well, I think each day is going to be different depending on, the environment.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on what's going on in the house. And sometimes our weeks, man, a hustle and bustle. We see each other in passing, you know what I mean? Just like the night I'm out, when I come home, she might be ready to lay down.
Mm-hmm.
So that little bit of time we do have to, kind of conversate. I like to highlight the positive, the good things. So when I'm asked that question, lots of times I'll just be like, nah, it's cool. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I have a great day, I'm talkative. So she knows.
You had a great day.
Right. I'm talking, but if I have a bad day, I'm probably kind of reserved, and she can tell, but I'll probably just leave it alone. And most times if I'm leaving it alone, it kind of means I don't want to talk about it. And it's for, multiple reasons. Maybe I just don't want to revisit it at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Plus my wife, she's a fixer. She's one of the persons that want to jump in. She wants, to kind of fix the situation. And some things I'll deal with a lot. A lot of stuff.
Something you just don't want fixed.
You don't want fixed, or she can't really fix it. You don't have an answer for this.
Right.
And And so lots of times it would be a waste of my time to say, nah, it was a little rough today. I had a rough day at work. I might give her an overview. Right. I might not get into the details. What I mean? So,
and this would be a time where it would be good if we had a woman or one of our wives, or just a woman in general, because they may think that that's being selfish. Like, because they ask us the question, mm-hmm. and they genuinely, it's crazy because we had Dr. Dr. Mullen on here a couple of weeks ago, and they asked us the question, but they want to know the answer, right? They really want to know if we had a good day or not. But he had a post where he had said, when you talk to your homeboy and be like, man, I've been stuck in traffic for, man, like the last 30 minutes. And the homeboy, his response would be like, dang, that's messed up. But he tell his wife the same thing. She was like, where you at? How far are you from home? How long you been in this traffic? Right. I mean, could you get a detour? Is there any way you can turn off? Can you see what happened?
That's a whole right. It's everything that come with it. Right. It's everything that come with it. My blood pressure here, man. You have to take it all the way there. And it's from a place of I'm concerned.
Concerned, yeah, but
you overthinking it. I'm just gonna sit here and wait till it clears. I don't like it, but
right.
Yeah. And that's why we got to be strategic in how we answer those questions, because what good is it if both of us got to be there, having a bad day, because I still, I'm going to get over it. I'm going to take my shower. I'm going to chill. I'm going to get in chill mode. I'm going to put the day behind me.
Right.
And you might not, if I dump it on you, might not be able to let it go as easy as me. I don't want you being, because I say they still have secular jobs. They out in the, dealing with people too. And I'm sure there's things that they carry, and I need to be there to figure out how was your day.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think that's, I think we just default go to that. It's like, if I have a bad day, I had a bad day. What I don't want is for you to have a bad day. Right. I want, I don't want to put that burden on you. But I'm okay if you put that burden on me.
Yeah. But I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
On the flip side, though, it just popped in my head. Now, we've been married for quite some time, so our spouses know us. But in a newer relationship, I think it's better to answer that question more so than not, because if you don't honestly answer that question, let's say if you get a little more distance and your spouse see you like shutting off more, if you don't answer that, how are you doing? And you don't answer that check, you leave room to their imagination.
Right.
So then they can start thinking, oh, well, he's not talking to me as much. Who is he talking to? I see he's getting an attitude now. And the attitude is not with you. It's just you bottled up whatever you got going on. But if you're not talking about it, then, of course, the devil going to put something in their head and plant a seed.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm going to piggyback off of that, because I'm thinking, I started by saying, what advice would we give to somebody who's young in a relationship with this conversation? I think one is to what I just verbalized a while ago, as far as saying, hey, look, I know you ask me how my day is sometimes. Sometimes I don't have a good day, but I don't want you to carry that burden, right? And so, I may say I had a good day, or everything is fine, and maybe it might not be, but I'm not saying that to hide stuff from you. I just don't want you carrying that. Right. That like, to me, it's no need. Like having that honest conversation with them, and then saying, hey, but I feel like I'm built for you to be able to share your bad days with me. And I'm not saying, I don't think that's being selfish. In a sense, it's just like, I can carry my burden.
We're going to figure it out.
Yeah, I feel like I can carry my burden. And I want you to feel like you got somebody that you can come to, even if you just want me to listen, that you can listen. But in that same conversation, I think you have to let her know, if it gets to the point where I feel like it's affecting the way that we interact, or it's making me irritated or frustrated, or I'm being short with you, at that point in time, I owe you that, to be able to open up and share with you how I'm feeling and what's going on. Now, you can't do that. You can't be no chatty patty all the time and like unloading. Because then it's like, yo, what are we doing here, man? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, like get us a bond.
Right.
Like, man,
right.
Come on, yeah.
But there are times where work can be tough, you know, and it can start to affect you outside of work. If it starts to affect you outside of work, it's time to talk.
Yeah.
Right. It's time to be open, because that's not being fair. That is being selfish. And now you're not being fair to the person who signed up to go through, you know, the good and the bad with you.
Right.
And especially if they're being intentional enough to ask you how your day is, how you feeling, is everything good? You know, it's a lot of people that would love to have somebody that would care and have that much support for them.
And sometimes though, in that situation, you can have a bad day, like, you know, friends or acquaintances, associates, you know what I mean? You have, I say, one day I go home and I'm upset because a conversation you and I had didn't go the way I think. Man, I can't believe Sean didn't think, you know what I mean? Unloaded on her. Man, women sometimes, they riders, man. I'm gonna forget Sean, man.
Yeah.
I say, oh yeah, you ain't gonna call home tonight, huh? You ain't worried about it. Like, sometimes like, nah, I'm not even gonna let her know what's going on, because you know we're gonna figure this out. It's not ain't really about nothing. But if I put it out there as that's what's bothering me, they, like I said, they ready to figure it out, or they ready to either write you off and say, look, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Or you might not even, it might be something where it's like you're not even that escalated, but they get escalated.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Now they try to pull up.
Yeah. Man, throw a surprise party. That's fine. I'm like, nah, it's not that serious. Not there yet.
So man, we be asking for it. So one of the comments that we got says, but your energy gives something else, so it'll cause more questions. Now we're both frustrated.
That's what I was saying. So that's why sometimes it's better. And I agree, that energy, man, because it's hard to hide when you're really having a bad day.
Yeah.
But I think you should, like, when you're in a relationship and you've known somebody for some time, give them some space sometime too.
Right.
Like if I come in and you can feel my energy and you know that I'm a little off, give me a reasonable amount of time to kind of unwind and debrief, and then we can come together. Now that energy is still off. Now maybe we can talk about it. But sometimes that rush,
right.
Like, let me come home and put on a different hat. You know what I mean?
Right. And so this is another tip. This is some other game. So on those days, maybe you take the scenic route home. On those days, you know what I mean, you might not even normally go grocery shopping or something like that, and you just go in, get a couple of things just to get your mind off. Maybe those days you don't pull up in the yard and rush straight in the house. You might, you know, listen to music for 15-20 minutes before you go in. And so that way, when you go in, like, you've kind of decompressed and the issue ain't that big of an issue anymore.
But
and you know, now you're not unloading. So there's other things that you can do along the way for that conversation. You know what I mean, to be able to not unload. And again, we're not saying by any means don't share, but you know, like, I mean, bad days, everybody has them. I mean, you can't enjoy the sunshine if you don't have some rain.
That's it.
You know,
fact.
And sometimes you need the rain.
Yeah.
You know, to make the plants grow.
But God made us with big broad shoulders, big backs, man. You know what I mean? We can handle some things. So
right.
Yeah.
We got another commentator. And then we was talking about, you know, when you're unloading on the days, they talking about, I'm gonna pull up. See, that's why you can't share stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, they want to pull up.
Hey man, get it popping.
Take it to a whole nother level. I
remember I had a cousin, man. Joker was nice with his hands, right? But some days he was on chill mode. Like, man, I'm talking about, you look at this girl wrong. Get him. She told my cousin, "Don't get him, yo." I'm like, cousin, like, God, he gotta stay ready, man. Cause I get the popping. Like, nah, not today, man. Just let me chill. You know what I mean? Yeah, we ain't always in that go mode, man. But yeah,
that's cool, man. Well, man, I think that was it. We just try and get back in the swing of things. Hope y'all enjoy the conversation that we done had. You know, we appreciate the people that's commenting. On the live, you know, we want that. So definitely got to acknowledge acknowledge that
no doubt,
when it's going
keep tapping
on.
in with us.
Yeah, keep tapping in with us. And you know, again, you know, if y'all got things that y'all want us to share or different thoughts and views and opinion, you know, we love to be able to hear from them. But you know, as always, we'll be back here next Thursday.
That's it.
You know, 7:30. As always, like, comment, share, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok.
Hold on, that's it.
And stay
tapped in.
Tapped in.
No doubt.
Peace.